Hey guys, Darren here from Fantasy Points here with week number 2 with the Fantasy Points Optimizer. If you have not joined Fantasy Points, plenty of time, and have a discount code. You can use my name, Darren, Darren 22. Get a nice discount for the site, and you can add on the Optimizer. So if you haven't had a chance to look at last week's tutorial, you can just go back in Fantasy Points and you can look at the main tutorial. This week we're gonna make some lineups and kind of get into the grouping a little bit more. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on DraftKings. We're gonna make 40 lineups. I think most of the people are using 40 lineups. We're gonna stack over the receiver, not showdown, main slate. Now here I'm back and forth. We got some pretty good tight ends this week. That's what I'm going to use. I trust John Hanson's projection so much. I'm going to leave it as it is for right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right to the player settings. And I'm going to go find my quarterbacks first that I like to use this week. Okay. So Derek Carr is going to be, pretty chalky. We can kind of sort the ownership over here. Is going to be the highest owned, but kind of like a smash play. You can get a little bit different in other spots. So we'll out of the 40 lineups, I'm going to want at least, probably 25%, and I'll do the max exposure when I go back here in a minute. I don't mind Stafford this week. GPP, I know Trey Lance might be popular in cash, weather, and things of that sort. I'm not going to be using him this week, so I'm going to go ahead and exclude. I don't mind if we get a little bit Lamar Jackson, maybe get maximum 15%. We'll not be using Wentz. Let's get rid of Wentz. Burrow, I don't mind. I think they're going to be running the ball quite a bit. I think Kyler Murray is a little bit more pricey. His ownership is pretty low. He's got such major upside. I do like him quite a bit this week. I'm going to get rid of some of these guys here. Down here. Even though I do like some of these lower guys. I don't mind a little bit of Tua. So we'll put Tua in here and 10%, maximum 20%. And we'll get rid of some of these other guys in here. I don't mind Mariota, actually. I do not want to play any of these guys down here. All right, so we'll start there. Go into the running backs, get rid of this. And what I like to do here to get the running backs that I like this week, I'm going to use the little boost icon. So we're going to bump up Chubb a couple spots. I like Mixon, Javonte Williams, Swift if he plays, and I don't mind Gibson. So I like to get some of those guys. Adams going to be pretty chalky, but if you listen to the podcast yesterday, he's kind of a smash play to say the least. And then tight ends. I mentioned on the pod also, I do like Schultz quite a bit. Backup quarterback, throw into the backup. Kind of use safety blanket. And I think Schultz will be that. Ertz had a full practice on Thursday. Didn't practice last Thursday. I think he might play a little bit more. I'm going to bump him just a little bit also. All right, so let's go back to the main page and we'll get to the advanced settings. And we'll go to the custom stacks. And stack number 1. And we'll start with Mr. Carr. You're gonna be really careful here, how much of a stack you make, because based on how much you have in a player, you're gonna make sure they match up. If you have too much, it won't optimize, the way that you want it. It will fail. So we'll do a 20% stack. Yes, I should go 25. We'll start with a stack with Carr. Oops, excuse me. And we'll do Adams. And we can put in Marquise. Get the Cardinals. And I do not want to have Josh Jacobs in that lineup, even though they're missing Bolden. There's a chance that he could catch maybe a few more passes. So we'll see. For now, I'm just going to keep it like that. We'll add another stack. And let's do a Murray stack. I'll do 20% for a Murray stack. And we'll do the other way around. We'll use Marquise Brown. And we'll come back with Adams. And I'm not going to use Connor, even though he did catch and passes last week. I'm trying to get as much upside as I want. I'm not against it in bigger single entries, having a quarterback and a running back. But for this GPP lines that I'm making, I'm not going to go that route. Let's do a little one little interesting one at 15%. Why don't we do a Gibson for Washington, and then come back with St. Brown, or and also Hawkinson. Something different, trying to get different, right? And if you're going to play Gibson, probably don't want to play Terry McLaurin, in that lineup. Don't have much of him really there. And what else should we do? We'll do a look here. Let's do. We'll do a Tua. Let's do a Tua. It's Tua, Tyreek, Mark Andrews, and we're not going to want to play Chase Edmonds. I'm not saying you can't. He's a good pass catcher. This is kind of the way I'm building. So we've built, a few little stacks here, and just like I said, be careful of your exposure here and how much you're putting in different things. You can bump this up, play around with it. So we'll go there. I'm not going to randomize projections. I'll just show you real quick once again. It basically, you can bump up your exposure. You can bump up your projections up or down. It basically randomizes the player. I explained that in the first video. I'm not going to use that this week. Max exposure by position, 40 lineups. So what we'll do is here, we'll go maybe 50% for quarterback, so you won't get any more than 50. Running backs, maybe we'll do 50. I like pretty good receivers this week. Tight ends, maybe go 40, not any higher than that. And we'll do defense around 40. So we got that done. Not going to worry about the ownership. There is some, pretty good guys in here. I'm not going to really worry about it. And then max flex exposure. You don't want to get too many tight ends in your lineup. This is one of the really good features I really like. I do like some of the tight ends, but I don't want to go crazy with it. So in the flex, you won't get more than 25%. We'll go maybe 40, 35. These aren't exact, guys. Just remember that. They don't have to be exact as far as that goes. Pretty straightforward, man. Like I said, that's why I love this tool. It's so user-friendly. So let's go ahead and run it and see what kind of lines that we're looking at today. Now, it does take a couple extra seconds due to you're asking the optimizer a little bit more, a little bit more rules, more groups, and things of that sort. Totally normal for it to do it. Sometimes it can take double this. But with 40 lines, I've been running it, testing it a little bit the last few days, and typically it's been going on the first run. So let's have a look and see what we end up with here. Yeah, I'm looking forward this week. Some fun games, and us at Fantasy Points having that data. We're just going to get better and better every single week. All right. Yeah, see, it's doing it around the second time. Made some unique rules in there and groupings, like I said before. So completely normal. You haven't broken the optimizer. I am asking it to do some different stuff. Looks like there's going to be some weather in San Fran for you guys looking to play Trey Lance. I don't play cash. I know a lot of people talking about playing Trey Lance, and I'm sure he'll run quite a bit. So just keep that in mind when you're making your lineups if you're looking to play Trey Lance. And here we go. All right, let's make sure we got 40. There we go. There's our 40 line. So let's have a look. Carr, Chubb, Mixon, Adams, Brown, Dortch, Juwan Johnson, value. It's a nice looking team right here. Wow. Yeah, that's a really good looking team here. Say Jones. It's kind of cool too. It shows you the exposure that you have. You got 60% of Adams in your 40 lines, 50% of Javonte and Chubb. Gibson, if you know, the cool thing is if you don't like the exposure, you got too much of these guys, all you have to do is go back. So like here's one here, like Grace Granson. It's only 7%, so you got him on like a couple lines. If you didn't like him, you could always, just go back and X him out. That's fine to do that. That's up to you. Let's see. There's likely. See, that's like I probably wouldn't use these guys, likely and Granson. So basically, all you have to do is go back to the player settings, click tight end, Granson. You can just go right here, and you can basically exclude. Then also likely, not likely. I'll be using him. I'm sure that's going to be used a lot this year. We'll exclude him too. And then all you have to do is just basically go back and then just rerun again. Just optimize it again. So if you have not had a chance, listen to the live stream that we did yesterday. It was really good. It was my first time doing it with Scott and Graham. I had some really good thoughts. Like I said, I'm pretty excited about this week. Some pretty good games. Week one can be tough. So don't get discouraged. Like I said, every week we're just going to get better and better and better. I really started doing well after week 5 last year. I just have so much data and such good numbers to put everything together. It just helps so much. And it looks like it's going to take a couple of times. So it's good that you guys are seeing it. So it's not just you didn't break it. But as you add more and more groups, I just added a few here today. It's going to take a little bit longer. So make sure you give yourself enough time to do this. And I would upload them when you're done. Just don't forget you have to keep this window open so you can go ahead and keep your settings and all your groupings as far as that goes. And obviously, if there's news that changes on Sunday in actives at 11:30, you might have to make some changes on that part of it. All right, let's see what we got. And so this Ertz, Campbell, that's that one from earlier. I like to kind of like go back to the end here and kind of look back because the higher point ones are at the top here, right? So you can see here, this one's projected to score 153 points. And then all the way, the one down here at the end shows 133 in points. Campbell, we'll see if Campbell's going to be a play. I'm hoping he is. He's a really good price if Pittman misses. Yeah, these lineups are looking really good, actually. And these look like these look like some of my good single entries. I don't want to share what I'm playing, but I'm playing some of these lineups. Yeah, this is good. I like this quite a bit actually. Let's go back. So once again, you can see I stacked it with the receiver. I did keep these in here. Don't want to run it with a tight end or running back, take them out. Just run receiver. Want to run just a running back and flex? That's fine. Don't want any tight end? Do just those two. I mean, you have control over that. Now, one thing it does happen though, when you come back, see how the max flex exposure, it kind of you have to basically just turn it back on. Okay, that's one thing I have to mention as far as that goes. Just go back and turn that back on. Look at a couple other things. see who else sticks out for value based on John's. Here's the value button here, and you just sort it. Hit it a couple times, and based on John's projections, based on the price, he's the best value on the slate. 14% ownership. Chubb is showing 6, second best value on the slate. I really like Chubb quite a bit this week, and if he's only going to be 6%, 6-point favorite at home against the New York Jets, I like that quite a bit. I'm unsure what I'm going to do with Barkley. I know he's a good play, but this ownership is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Let's go look at the receivers real quick. And once again, you can sort by value. I mean, look at this. You got an $8,600 player as a top value on the slate. And obviously the ownership's reflecting, how good a value is. Even look at Cup, 9 almost 10 grand, and second best value on the slate. And Chase is just always going to chase him. Look at Campbell. This is going to be based on Pittman missing. So, like I said, you can kind of play around with it. You want to sort by ownership, from high to low, and try and get some of the lower owned guys, kind of mix and match. Pay attention to it. Obviously the entry fee is going to matter as first, for what you're actually building. So, you're only building 10 lineups. Say you take out tight end. Well, that's because I made a couple changes in there. Yeah, that's all right. I made it. It's invalid exposure because I asked in the custom stacks. I asked for this much exposure, but I've only given myself 10 lineups. It won't build it. So that's just something I have to play around with. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. It's pretty good week. And definitely get on the fantasy points if you have not. Like I said, once again, discount code Darren, DAREN 22. Get a discount, and you can add on the optimizer. It's only $50, so that's for the whole year. It's the best value in the business as far as what you get for it. And we're just gonna start adding more and more stuff, to this optimizer in the next couple of years, and get it to where it's gonna be, it's just gonna be one of the best in the business for sure. So I'm excited to be a part of that journey. All right. Well, you can always follow me on Twitter at BooBooJojo. That's BOOJOJO. And I'm always around in the Discord DFS channel in the Fantasy Points. And you get access to that if you join Fantasy Points. Okay. All right. Well, listen, good luck to your lineups. Enjoyed sharing this with you guys today. And I'll see you next week.